Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be working again with the Simon Says Stamp Halloween card kit, and these will be my final two cards using the kit. Here again, I'm working with the scraps I have left from those 3 pattern papers, and I think this is my 6th card using those, so I'm pretty sure I have never stretched 3 pieces of pattern paper quite so far. So what I did was I just trimmed everything off and made sure it was nice and even, and then here I'm playing around with what I have and coming up with some type of layout. I'm working here on an MFT black licorice card base. So I'm going to attach these, and I'm using removable tape because, like I said, I was just playing around with things and seeing how they looked. And when I did finally come up with the end result, I ended up having some Scotch foam tape on top of all of these pattern papers, so it was safe to, leave them with the removable tape. Now here again, I'm just playing around with some stickers. I finally decided I wanted to go with that skeleton. Here I'm pulling in some MFT's Pure Plum cardstock. And I decided to place that skeleton on top of there. And I'm just going to go ahead and create a banner edge on the bottom of that. I know that I want to go ahead and use some of those sentiment stickers that are left, but I'm not quite sure where I want to place them or how I'm going to use them. So I play around with that a little bit, and then eventually I decide I'm going to go back to working with that skeleton. So here I'm just measuring where I want to cut that. I'll trim that off, and then I'm going to go ahead and place some craft foam behind that, and I'll go ahead and add him to the top of my card base. And then, similar to one of my previous cards, I decided I wanted to go ahead and place that sentiment on a colorful border. So here I've added that to some MFT Orange Fizz cardstock, and I'm just going to trim that out to leave a small border around there. I still couldn't decide if I liked that boo right there in that corner. So I again went back to my stickers, and eventually I decided I wanted to go with that All Hallows Eve. It's a beautiful iridescent sticker. And I placed it down, and then I decided I wanted to add some more dimension. So here in a second you'll see I'll peel that off, and then I'm going to add some Scotch foam tape behind that. Then here I'm going back to that boo sentiment and decided I would also add that up in the top corner. I'm going to add foam tape just behind half of that because I already have the skeleton banner popped up on some craft foam, so this way it'll keep it nice and even. And I did add a little ATG to the flat part of that sentiment as well. And then here I'm going to add 2 additional stickers. For the inside of the card, I decided to use these Hocus Pocus stickers. Again, these are really pretty and have that beautiful iridescent finish to them. And that will complete card number 1. Here for card number 2, I'm trimming out some MFT cardstock. This is Orange Zest, and it measures 1 by 3. And then I'm also using some Black Recollections cardstock, and that I've trimmed to 2 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. I then have some scrap striped paper, and that measures also 3/4 of an inch. So I'm playing around with that layout. I know that I want to use these adorable pumpkin stickers, and I'm just playing around with how I'd like those to be set on the card base. This is a card base made from Recollections black cardstock, and then that brown background is actually the back side of the Tim Holtz papers that came in the card kit. So I've trimmed that out with my Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle die that measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So here I've placed 2 of the stickers directly on the card base, and then this smaller one I'm going to pop up using some Stampin' Up! Dots, and then I'm just going to place that in the middle of the 2. I'll go ahead then and attach that craft panel to the top of the card base. And I'll go ahead and attach that black and white striped paper and trim off the excess. I'm then going to stamp the sentiment, "You're my favorite pumpkin," using Versamark ink. And I did just hit that strip of black cardstock with my EK Success powder tool. I'll then use the Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail White Embossing Powder. And then I will go ahead and hit that with my heat gun. Here I will go ahead and pop that up with some Scotch foam tape. I'll place down that orange rectangle just slightly off from the center, and then I will add the sentiment right on top of that. Now for the inside, I went very simple. I just added a plain Nina panel trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4, and that completes card number 2. Here I just wanted to share with you how I decorated that treat box. I've used here some of the Tim Holtz paper, and I've trimmed those down to 3-inch squares. I'm going to place the orange polka dot squares on either side of the opening. And then for the back, I trimmed out a black square, and I'm going to place that for your sentiment or to write a little note to someone. Then finally, I went back to the front and just decorated that using some of the My Mind's Eye stickers that I had remaining. I've gone ahead and popped the box up, so here you can see what it looks like all together. Here's a quick look back at the cards we created today. Additional close-ups as well as a full list of supplies can be found at my blog post listed in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.